Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to walk through a blueprint for a totally different kind of digital economy. Seriously, this is a design that tries to get away from all the hype and speculation that we see everywhere and instead build something that's meant for long-term, real participation. Okay, let's get into it.
So much of the talk around crypto is just about buying low and selling high, right? But this whole blueprint kicks off with a completely different question. It asks, what if the main thing you did wasn't just trading, but actually taking part in creating and moving value around? It's a huge shift in how you think about it.
And the answer to that question, it's this idea, the circular participation model. The entire system we're about to unpack is built right on top of this. Think of it like an economy designed as a closed loop, where the whole point is to keep people engaged and keep the value circulating inside the ecosystem, instead of just trying to cash out as fast as possible.
And this slide just lays out the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got the model we all know. It's like a roller coaster, right? All these crazy ups and downs, driven by whatever the latest hype is. But on the right, you see the circular model. And it is intentionally designed for stability. Its success isn't measured by some wild price jump, but by steady, consistent participation and actual real-world use.
Okay, so how does this thing actually work? Well, it all starts with the engine, and that engine is called the miner's cycle. This is the absolute core mechanic that lets participants, the users themselves, generate the token supply. It creates this truly decentralized foundation for everything else that gets built on top.
Let's just follow the loop here on the slide. It's pretty simple. So step 1, you fund a miner. Step 2, that miner gets to work, producing tokens over a 120-day period. Then at step 3, you can sell some of those tokens over the counter, or OTC. You keep some profit at step 4, and then, and this is the key, at step 5 you use the rest to reload the miner and start the whole cycle all over again. It's this simple, repeatable loop that puts the power of creation into the community's hands.
Right, so you've got this powerful engine, but an engine is pretty useless without the right kind of fuel, yeah? In this economy, that fuel is scarcity. Having a predictable and really strictly controlled token supply is absolutely critical to keep inflation in check and to support stable, long-term value.
And when I say scarce, I mean it's literally hard-coded into the system. Just look at that number, 2,060,000 tokens. That's it. That is the total supply, and it is permanently capped. No more can ever be made. That means every single person involved knows the exact boundaries of the economy from day one.
Now here's where it gets really clever, and you can see the commitment to the long game. A massive chunk of that supply, 1.4 million tokens, is locked away for 14 years. This isn't an accident. It's a very deliberate choice to protect the market from sudden dumps of supply and to make sure the whole ecosystem can grow at a steady, manageable pace.
Yeah, and this chart just puts it into perspective, doesn't it? That big purple slice, 68%. That's over 2/3 of all the tokens that will ever exist, just locked away as a strategic reserve. This really isn't about creating a quick pump. It's about architecting an economy that's built to last.
Okay, so we've got the engine and the fuel. Let's talk about the gearbox. See, a stable economy needs more than just supply controls. It needs a smart way to actually handle all the transactions. And this model uses something called a dual market system, where you have two very different kinds of markets, each with a very different job to do.
So here's how it breaks down. The DEX, or decentralized exchange, that acts like the public stock ticker you see on the news. Its main job is just to show everyone what the going market price is. But the OTC market, over the counter, that's where the real value exchange is meant to happen, in direct private deals between people. Honestly, this quote from the source material just nails it. DEX shows the price. OTC captures the value. It's such a simple but really powerful way to think about it. The two markets aren't competing. They're working together, each doing its own thing.
So, you might be asking, why push people towards OTC? Well, there's a really good reason. If you try to sell a large amount of tokens on a public exchange, you can cause the price to tank for everyone. OTC trades avoid that. They happen privately, at a price you negotiate, which protects that public price from getting rocked, and it allows for much bigger, more stable transactions inside the community.
So, we have our engine, our fuel, and a gearbox. But where is this car even going? What's the point? For any of this to actually be sustainable, it needs a destination. The token has to have a purpose that goes beyond just making and trading more of itself. It needs real, actual demand from the outside world.
And this is what creates that demand. The token isn't just for mining and selling. It's designed to be used.
We're talking about powering gaming economies, tokenizing real-world assets, funding cool community projects, or building business apps. These use cases, this is what gives the token its real, lasting value. Okay, so let's put it all together. When you combine that miner cycle, the scarce token supply, that clever dual market system, and top it off with real-world demand, you don't just have a bunch of separate parts anymore. You have a self-reinforcing system. You have an ecosystem flywheel.
And we can just trace the momentum right here on the slide. So, step 1, miners create the supply. Step 2, OTC sellers get it out into the community. That leads to step 3, where developers and builders create awesome applications that actually use the tokens. Then, step 4, gamers, communities, everybody starts using them, creating real utility. And that real use creates more demand. Which brings us to step 5. The whole cycle gets stronger, encouraging more miners and kicking the whole thing off again. See? Each layer just feeds the next one.
So there it is. The blueprint is all laid out. It's a circular model built on participation, scarcity, and real utility. The design is super intentional and all the parts are clear. But, the final question is still out there. Is this a real, viable path for the future of digital economies? Or is it just another fascinating experiment? I guess that's what we'll all be watching.